Shibai is a 4-dimensional being. Yeah, that's what Boruto fans are saying, that he's on Goku level. The difference is he has way better hacks, which leads us to the big question: could Shibai solo the Big 3? So the main reason Shibai can solo the Big 3, from what I've heard, is because Shibai is potentially the creator of the Naruto universe. He was stated to have transcended to a higher dimension, like Ichigo, and his mere DNA gives godlike powers called Shinjitsu, such as reality warping hacks, omniscience, omnipotence, reflect all harmful intent. Like, you just have to think to harm someone, specifically Daemon or Shibai, and then you're going to be harmed before that even happens. Shibai was so powerful and ascended or transcended to a different dimension that he didn't need his body anymore. This is why people have access to his body. So how powerful is fully powered Shibai? Since Shibai DNA is basically like the new Hashirama cells. You eat them, you get crazy power-ups. Let's talk about Ada's powers. So Ada has the Senrigan, which allows her to peek in on things happening all across the world. She can also hear conversations as if she was actually there. She can browse into their past, but she can't go past their birth. But what really makes Shibai overpowered is that he also had passive abilities. So Ada has a passive ability called Omnipotence, or should I say abilities, since it gives her more powers than one, because the Omnipotence isn't just a single power, it has a couple of effects. Ada is capable of enchanting anyone near her that is not a blood relative of an Asutsuki, making them her slave, unable to attack or resist her commands. So, for example, Gojo would just turn off his infinity. Another way Omnipotence can be used is to alter the plot of the story itself by altering the memories of everyone on a single given planet. She effectively swapped Boruto and Kawaki's roles in the plot, which is considered a power similar to Toon Force or even reality warping. So if Ada was able to achieve this from the scraps of the DNA of Shibai, imagine what full-powered Shibai could do. Perhaps he could swap Goku with Krillin's power level. Like, how powerful is Shibai's reality warping? So let's talk about Daemon's powers, since this is also Shibai's powers. Daemon has the power to reflect any harmful intent passively. Even merely thinking to perform a harmful act will result in the attacker instantly receiving the damage caused by harmful thoughts. For example, one ninja attempted to cut off Daemon's head, but the mere thought of doing so resulted in his own head being cut off before he could even draw his sword. Meaning, if you even thought to blow up the universe, his passive would be triggered and you would receive a universe-busting attack before you even released it. And this is just some of Shibai's powers. So what does Shibai scale to in AP or DC? Well, in the databooks we learn that the Ten Tails is just a fraction of the god tree that gave birth to the universe. So there's actually a Ten Tails or a god tree out there that is a universe creator. So every other Ten Tails are just a fraction of that original tree. Smaller bits, smaller seeds. Like the one on Earth was planted by the Asutsuki, but a smaller, a weaker version of the original. Now in Boruto we learned that Code was able to effectively create Asutsuki, or humanoid living versions, of the divine tree or Ten Tails known as Code's Grimes. This suggests that the Asutsuki may have originally been divine trees, but evolved into humanoid gods, because the key part in Asutsuki stands for tree. So this means that the Asutsuki are a family of killer trees. Well, if all the most powerful abilities come from Shibai, who potentially came from a Ten Tails aka Divine Tree, what if Shibai was involved with that ultimate god tree that created the universe? You see, there was a mega tree that created the universe, and then the 100 of Ten Tails seeds that you see go around sent in space, like the world that Momoshiki devoured and so forth, or even the divine tree that was sent to Earth. These are all just little specks or DNA or samples of the main god tree. Just from those little specks, we get people like Daemon and Ada, super powerful, the most powerful in the current verse. So it's possible that Shibai could be related, or be even, the creator of the Naruto universe, considering the fact that it was also stated that he transcended to a higher dimension. Unlike a Limbo clone, he's not in an alternate world. It actually said that he ascended, because there are other characters as well, like Hagoromo, who was transcended. And this is a little bit different to just having a clone or some being that exists in an alternate world, because the statements are completely different. Transcending means to be in a dimension that's beyond or higher, as opposed to just adjacent to. So not only is Shibai potentially the creator of the Naruto universe, but he exists in a higher dimension. He no longer needs his mortal body, and he's forever immortal. If he's going to solo the Big 3, he would need to be able to take on Ichigo at least, or the Soul King, and the Soul King arguably has significantly better hacks. Significantly. And he's actually the creator, like stated to be the creator of the Bleach universe in the final novels and the end of the actual manga. So, in summary, this means it's possible that Shibai could be four-dimensional too, because he also transcended. He's got connections to being the creator or connected to the divine tree. We also have evidence that Asutsuki potentially could come from trees, which could mean that if he comes from the main creator of the universe tree, this would mean that he would have that power. Now, if this is true, this would mean it's possible for Shibai to solo the big three. Maybe not Bleach though, especially when we're talking about the Soul King. Now, there are some further pieces of evidence, such as Kaguya creating 6 new time spaces and was going to make the ninja world, aka the Earth, that Team 7 and everyone lives on, her 7th dimension. This could mean that Kaguya and her dimensions aren't just planets. Kaguya could have actually been the creator of 6 new space-time continuums, aka universes. Now, obviously, this is highly unlikely in Naruto since we don't see Kaguya actually create her dimensions or aka universes, so we don't actually get to see their infinite size. We only get to see parts of her dimension, which looks like a planet-sized dimension for each one. Considering how Naruto and Sasuke stopped Kaguya from destroying just their planet, even though they're like multi-continental prior to the fight, it's highly unlikely she created the universe, or created universes, since we've never seen her create a universe in the manga, anime, and the databooks. Rather, perhaps this would place her at potentially solar system level, since the more chakra fruits an Asutsuki consumes, and she ate 6 planets, the more powerful they become. And considering there are only 8 planets in our solar system and Kaguya deleted and recreated 6 of them, this makes her almost solar system level over time. Like, she didn't accomplish it all in one go. So you could say over time, she could eventually affect an entire solar system, but she realistically only affected like a planet at a time. So in my opinion, it's highly unlikely that the Asutsuki are universal in power. However, with the way things are going in Boruto, especially with reality warping and reflect passive in play, that affects all time and space across the entire ninja world, like reality warping across the whole world, after the destruction of Konoha, we might actually see some universe busting or basically potential there. Now, Momoshiki was also stated to have created a parallel dimension, which was shown to contain stars. Now, what if all the stars in his dimension were included? This would mean that the entire Narutoverse could be a lot more powerful than we really thought. Maybe their solar system, maybe more. It's not solid evidence, but it's still possible. Now, if I missed anything about Shibai or the powers, or basically the current meta for multiversal Shibai scaling in the top tiers, drop a comment below. Specifically, most importantly, how powerful do you think is Shibai and why? Let me know what your thoughts are. Peace.